Hello everybody, this is Mrs. Smart. I have a cold today, so if I seem a little off, that might be why, but I wanted to go over the quiz answers with you. So this is for version A, so if you don't remember which one you took, check your test and watch the video for version A if you took version A, and watch the video for version B if you took version B. Okay, so this is the average score for the nervous system quiz per class period. Now, this is only for my classes, so I'm not sure about Mr. Keegan's, but I imagine they're about the same. So you can see that our average percent was about a 66%. Second hour came a little ahead, seventh hour came a little behind. So we were all in about that 60 range, which means a lot of us have the opportunity to retake this quiz. Remember, if you got below a 70, you can retake the quiz. Okay, let's start off with the first 4 questions. Now, these ones were just simple matching vocab questions. So, number 1, a stimulus would be answer D, a change in the environment. So, we've talked about how a stimulus could be touching something hot, or it could be a puppy walking in the room. It's anything that changes the environment. Number 2 is C. So an interneuron is the neuron that passes on messages between 2 neurons. So you have your sensory, interneuron, and motor neuron. Number 3, neuron, is B, the basic unit of the nervous system. And finally, number 4 is A, body system, a group of organs that work together to perform life function. Not a lot to talk about with these ones, it's just simple vocabulary. Okay, so question 5 was, does everybody have the same response time? Provide evidence. This question was worth 2 points, one for just a yes or no, and then one for your evidence. So the answer is no. Not everybody has the same response time. A really good example of evidence would be talking about the response time lab we did. And you could say that your partner had, a 20-second response time to pick up their meter stick while you only had 15 seconds. That would be a good example of evidence. But I took a lot of different examples, even if it was just sometimes people are better at sports than other people. Okay, that has to do with response time. Okay, question 6. Your ability to digest food is controlled by which subsystem of the peripheral nervous system? And it cut off that bottom word, but it says system. Okay, guys, this question was missed a lot. So, there are 2 subsystems of the peripheral nervous system. We have our autonomic system, which controls the automatic movements, and we have our somatic system, which controls the voluntary movements. So your somatic system controls things like being able to write or throwing a football, but your autonomic system controls the involuntary movements, like having your heart beat or breathing or digesting food. So the correct answer was the autonomic system. A ton of you put the digestive system, which you're right. Obviously, the digestive system has a lot to do with digesting food, but it is not a subsystem of the peripheral nervous system. So the answer I was looking for was autonomic system. Okay, moving on to question 7. This one was worth 3 points. Question 6 was just worth 1. So question 7. What are the 3 main functions of the nervous system? The 3 functions are to gather information, maintain homeostasis, and respond to stimuli. So that's gather information, maintain homeostasis, respond to stimuli. Question 8 was worth 1 point, and it's Yeah, it was worth 1, sorry. It was worth 1 point, and it says, describe how reflexes prevent injuries. So a reflex is the automatic response to stimuli. So with a response, it goes to your brain and your brain makes a decision. Now this might not take very long. The brain can respond really quickly, but with a reflex, it doesn't even go to the brain. So that way you can respond even quicker. So I took a lot of answers for this one. I was pretty flexible. Ideally, you would have given me the definition of a reflex and explained that since it skips going to the brain, it lets you respond very quickly, and so that way you don't get hurt. But I also just took things like reflexes will make you get out of the way if a ball's being thrown at you. So I was pretty flexible with this answer. Okay, question 9. This one was worth 2 points, and that's, can information travel in both directions across a neuron? Why or why not? The answer is no, it cannot travel in 2 directions. And the why is because the cell body processes that information and sends it down the axon. If you look at the other side of the neuron, there's no cell body to process that information. So it can't go both ways. It only goes one direction. And if you were in my classroom, I have a big neuron on the wall that says direction of impulse and has an arrow pointing in only one direction. So you should have known that it can only go one way. Okay, question 10. How are the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system different? I got a lot of different answers here. What I was looking for is that the central nervous system is made up of the brain and the spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system is made up of all the other nerves in your body. I got a lot of the central nervous systems on the inside and the peripheral nervous systems on the outside. And while I could tell what you guys were maybe thinking with that, I did not take that as an answer because the peripheral nervous system is inside your body. So the central nervous system is your brain and your spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system is the rest of the nerves in your body. Okay, so my questions for you to answer. Now remember, you can either answer these on Canvas. That's my preferred choice, is for you to answer these on Canvas. I will also accept you commenting on YouTube with the answers. And if you want to bring in a piece of paper with the answers, I'll take that as well. So tell me, how did you prepare for this quiz? Which question did you struggle with the most? Why do you think that is? And how will you prepare for the unit exam on September 20th? We will discuss how to take retakes in class, but this will give you a good idea of what the answers should have been. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me or Mr. Keegan when you get back to school.